Hi everyone, Aaron Brooks with Perfect Postures. Today I want to talk about low back pain and how one little simple test can actually let you know if that's actually the root cause of your low back pain. So a lot of times with low back pain, you have a diagnosis from a physician, and maybe it's a bulging disc, or maybe there's some stenosis, or maybe there's some type of premature osteoarthritis. But one thing that's often overlooked is what your knee and your hip are doing and how they can actually be an underlying factor for your low back pain. So for instance, here's a little test you could do. If you were just to balance on one foot, like so, if you can't do that, that's probably letting you know or telling you that there's some instability going on in your hip and your knee. So put a pair of shorts on, balance on one leg, and watch what your kneecap does. If you see it pointing over toward your right side, if you were balancing your left leg, or if you see your knee kind of collapse in this way, that's telling you that it's not just a weak knee, it's actually weakness in your hip. So now imagine this. You do that test, you find out, yep, absolutely, I'm weaker. Maybe you're weaker on one side more than the other. When we walk, you're always in a single leg stance, or when we run or we're doing activities. So that means that when you're in a single leg stance here, if there's weakness, more than likely there's going to be some type of shift laterally, and that's going to directly impact what the low back is doing. So if you don't have stability in your hip and you see a shift, that's going to directly impact what your low back is doing or not doing, really. So do that little test. If you see or feel that weakness, then stay tuned for the corrective exercise. We're going to show you an exercise that can actually help that stability. So again, we're not addressing the low back specifically, but we're addressing the hip, which will directly impact the low back.